Hello there! What is going on, everyone? We are playing some Star Wars Legion today, using a lot of new stuff. And I'm playing against Sean. I am running Imperials with the Mandalorian. He is out there trying to find some midi-chlorians amongst the latest rebels. And he is also trying to stop Rogue One from being made. And in order to do that, we've got to kill Cassian Andor and Jyn Erso. And so... No, he's not trying to stop Rogue One from being made. He's just trying to... He's out for blood. So we're going to go over the lists, and this is the battlefield here. We are running with a bunch of Monster Fight Club terrain. We were using a variety of trees and rocky hills. We've got some area terrain as well. Autumn is upon us. It's almost Halloween, and so this is kind of spooky, spooky terrain, right? A little spooky. We've even got a mushroom patch over here.
Oh, the fairy circle, right?
This is the fairy circle, not to be confused with the fairy circle from the Zelda, when you summon the one fairy and she's making all the crazy sound effect. Maybe that happens. Whoever gets there first, we'll find out.
Oh, jeez.
What happens? But we're gonna go over the lists. I'll show you mine here for a minute. And I'm running Palpatine with Burst of Speed and Anger. Moff Gideon with no upgrades. Din Djarin with the Flame Projector, the Jetpack, and his Amban Rifle. I'm running 2 units of Stormtroopers, each with a 97C, Medical Droid, and Targeting Scopes. We've got the Riot Control with the KX series. So we actually have 3 KXs on the board. We got 2 of these KXs and K2SO. We've got a Stormtrooper Marksman. We've got a Range Troopers with the T-21 and a generic Range Trooper. And we have a unit of Imperial Dark Troopers with programmed loyalty, the Frag Launcher, and the Assault Cannon. And we are ready to wreck faces. We're going to come around and look at Sean's list. Let's see what Sean is running today as we walk around. And oh my gosh, is it Jyn Erso? Are you running Pathfinders?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Sean has he's got Jyn Erso. He has Sabine. You don't always run Sabine. Yeah. You don't always run K2SO either.
Yeah, but with 1,000 points, that's surprising.
Yeah, with extra points. I mean, the one thing about like most of the stuff that you like to run, like Sean likes to run Jyn, Cassian, Rebel Veterans, and Pathfinders. Every update that has come out since launch has made them better and has made their points go down.
Yeah.
They've been a little cheaper. Like their configuration used to be like 8 points, and now it's switched to free. Pow and Bistan have, I think Bistan has an extra hit point now or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Although they did take the artwork off of all the new upgrade cards, which I really don't like.
Well, I guess Pow's still the same.
Pow's, yeah. Well, but Pow initially at launch, Pow was only 1 hit point. It was an earlier update. So again, the Rebel Pathfinders have seen a lot of changes. So yeah, Cassian, K2SO, Rebel Veterans, the Mark II. You don't have fire support anymore.
Yeah.
But there's Rebel Pathfinders,
and the Sleeper Cell.
And the Sleeper Cell, the new Sleeper Cell, which are and you put a Rebel officer on those.
Yeah, I did put a Rebel officer. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe
all right.
Extra guy. He's got the Marksman. I did Situation Awareness because I think Nimble will really help out.
Okay.
And Prepared Supplies, so I have that dodge if I don't do a dodge act.
Okay, that works. All right, we're going to set up our mini game and start with the turn 0. All right, so we did our mini game. We ended up with shifting priorities, sweep and clear. Sean's using cunning deployment, and I got ordnance. He vetoed my extra pass token, which was lovely of him. But yeah, so this is an interesting one. We've never done shifting priorities before. This is one where these are going to move. So we'll go ahead and populate the battlefield. And yeah, basically, if you control one, I get to then move it at the end of the turn. If you secure one, rather. And if I secure one, you get to move it up to 3 inches or 1/2 range at the end. Now, ordnance isn't going to help me out too much because you don't have vehicles, but I can still put some suppression out there. Sweep and clear is good for all of us, and cunning. I mean, well, each of our advantages here isn't like critical. Like the dodge tokens might not be that helpful on first turn, especially since I've got stuff that does unblockable.
Oh, is that Din Djarin?
Din Djarin has that rifle, and the Riot controls also have that. Granted, I don't know if I'll be doing all that stuff all that much, but we have options here. So let's go ahead and get this board, this battlefield set up. All right, so we have done our prepared positions step. I have no prepared positions or any early stuff, and we're doing command cards for the first round. You're doing complete the mission. I'm doing give in to your anger.
You said you didn't have that.
I lied.
Little mind games.
I lied. Yes, it was definitely mind games. So you won't have anybody messed up with suppression this turn. I feel like with 5 turns, blowing a good command card on the first turn is fine because like you weren't going to play them all anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, although that's a really good one. Okay, so I'm going to be able to go first, and then you're going to go, and we're going to get started deploying. So I had Din Djarin do bounty on K2SO right there, which I thought would be a fun one. I haven't used a bounty hunter in a long time. And then I decided, all right, I have Given to Your Anger, so I can force K2SO to deploy early. However, I went and then pulled from the pile, and I pulled Operative, which was Din Djarin. So I had to drop Din Djarin first, and the only thing I had to not pull was Din Djarin, so this way I could at least deploy him kind of counter to K2SO. However, Din Djarin deployed over here, and then I chose K2SO to go first, and so this way if he goes before Cassian goes, Cassian could have deployed and gotten Infiltrate, and K2SO would have gotten that also because he's detachment. So by forcing K2SO to go first, maybe I limit some of the advantages he can get. All right, Cassian took a shot here. I dropped some of these guys. The Dark Troopers can't. They have plotting, so I couldn't move up a little bit further. So they just took an aim. Pathfinder is deploying behind this tree, taking a shot at these guys. I got 2 in. I'm gonna roll 2 for heavy cover, and oh my goodness, heavy cover blocks both. The first time that has ever happened.
I block heavy cover.
I mean, jeez Louise, Cumbalanza Boomba. All right, I pulled second Dark Trooper activation. They moved forward and shot. They had an aim this time, and we got 7 hits through on Cassian. He only blocked 2, and he did duck and cover again. He had heavy cover, and he had 3 suppression tokens, so you have to roll 3 extra dice with Danger Sense 3. And there were a lot of blanks, and Sean almost never rolls that many blank white dice. So I guess your time was due.
Yeah, it had to happen eventually.
Yeah, but if anybody's gonna Cassian, I normally never go for Cassian. Yeah. So you had put him a little too far forward, and I think we're a little rusty.
Yeah,
you were trying to score on round 1, and we can't normally score on round 1.
Yeah, I'm not used to that rule.
Sure. Okay, end of the round. We have a little bit of development. Jin deployed, moved kind of far forward into the middle to benefit from some heavy cover behind that middle objective. I did manage to get 2 wounds on her with the range troopers, who then took a long-range shot from those rebel veterans and lost 1 of their members. The other interesting thing is over here, I had both my medics pick up both of my Riot troopers that died, so the Riot squad is now at full strength. I did lose a Dark Trooper as well, and he cannot be restored, so sorry R2-D2 or any other type of astromech droids, you're not going to be able to fix him up. And I've got Moff Gideon and Palpatine both over here on this side, and we are moving into round 2. I scored 1 point for killing Cassian Andor for the sweep and clear objective, so at the end of round 1, it is 1-0. Alright, so beginning of round 2, you played Trust Goes Both Ways, 2 pip.
Yep.
And so who has teamwork with Jin right now?
The Pathfinders.
Pathfinders right here. That's the POW, right?
Yep.
And I played You Have Something I Want. This lets me do Stormcast Eternal style drop-in with these Dark Troopers. And then I gave the orders to both my commanders. These guys had one for their... basically... it lets me pick them up and drop them beyond range 2 of any other unit. But it also consumes their face-up order. So then I have to flip their face-up order down. So they're only going to be able to activate once this turn.
Oh, well, that's but if you get that rocket launcher, it's going to be a big thing.
Right, but they're also ionized. And if you're able to shoot them again, then that means they won't even be able to activate.
Oh.
Yeah, so this whole turn could be a wash, in theory. All right, so I pulled these guys. I dropped them off in that back corner to threaten Sabine, who then moved up and shot at Din Djarin, or she didn't shoot him, but she hit him with the electro whip and give him 2 immobilized tokens. Fortunately, he's speed 3, so he still has some mobility, but just not enough to be super dangerous next turn. Okay, so fast forward to the end of round 2. A couple of shots fired at Din. I got 2 wounds on Din Djarin. These guys moved up. He's scoring both of those. I moved up to engage Jin. A lot of shots fired at my ranged troopers. They're almost all dead. A couple shots fired over this way at Moff Gideon. 2 wounds on him. 1 wound finally on the ranged troopers after healing. Palpatine we do some splitting of... we did some split firing, pulling the strings. And these guys, I've suppressed the sleeper cell pretty well and denied them the ability to move up and get close. The Bistan unit has 1 wound left on this guy. And the POW unit is still in full strength over here. And Jin is at least engaged right now, so that's gonna slow her down a little bit. And we're about to start moving objectives. You're gonna score 4 points. I'm gonna score 2, and then we're gonna start. Yeah, because I control this one.
That's only 1 point then.
Where do you get 4?
1,
2, 3. Oh, it's only
4.
1 for. Oh, you're gonna. Yeah. Oh, that's. Yeah, you're massive control on your side. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, I have 2 because I scored 1 point for a kill.
Oh, right.
So yeah. So it's going to be 4 to 2. Now we get to move. You're going to be able to move this one, and I'm going to be able to move all the other ones. So yeah, so let's start off with. Goodness gracious me! I think I'm going to move this one to closer to Din Djarin. Right here. Right. There. All right. And you can move this one. All right. I moved that one out a little bit. He moved this one over there. Then we shuffled around a little bit, and we're going to start turn 3. You go explosions, and I'm going in. Now you will die. So we're going to roll off again. I'm blue player. I'll get the block. You get the non-block. And it's a block. So I'm going to get to go first. All right. That'll be a fun one. Let's see what happens. All right, so these guys went over here, took out almost all of my stormtroopers. I pulled heavy from the pile, activated dark troopers, who managed to fire everything into Sabine
Before
and
she could do her
just killed her. And she didn't do explosions yet. It was explosions versus, and now you will die. Palpatine took out a full unit of Pathfinders and almost a full unit of Rebel veterans, but is very vulnerable right now. Din Djarin is also very vulnerable right now. Still is immobilized, But Sabine, the biggest threat over on this side of the board, is now gone, and we have ourselves a ball game, folks, or a Pokemon game, because I've got to catch all the rebels in my Pokemon. All right, so I did move some stormtroopers up. They were able to heal Palpatine for 1, so he now has 2 health to kill him. But now K2SO is blowing his cover incognito. He came up and he shot his Emperor at point-blank range. He got 5 hits through on white dice, which is unbelievable.
Surge to crit.
4 crits. Oh, well, there was a couple of surges in there?
Oh,
yeah.
There's 3 surges.
That's unbelievable. All right, so we got to see if Palpatine can survive this. Here we go. He does survive it! He survives it. Oh, my goodness. But you did get a wound through.
And 2 suppression.
Oh, okay. All right, so I did get another kill with Sabine from enemy territory, so that brought me up to 3, and we're counting down score at the end of the round. Din shot here, only got 1 through. He actually rolled heavy cover and canceled stuff, or light cover. He rolled blocks, so light cover saved this unit. I'm going to score that objective. He's going to score this one. I'm going to score this one because Moff Gideon managed to get over here, and this guy was suppressed from Palpatine. Palpatine is almost dead, but still alive. Both stormtroopers healed Palpatine, and he took a damage every time somebody attacked him, but he's at 4 wounds right now, still clinging to life. And yeah, so that one's going to remain unscored. So I'm going to score 1, 2, 3, and you're going to score 1. And we're getting close. So it's going to be 5, and it's going to be 6 to 5 at the end of round 3.
So I'm gonna get
First, all right. So beginning of turn 4, he plays Rebellious with Jin, which is a good interrupt. It also makes sure that you can go first. I went with Moment of Consideration, which is going to give 3 core or heavies a standby. Standby on them would be real interesting. If you do this stuff over here, then they get a free move outside of their activation.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing, but I think these guys need it more so. So I'm going to give my 3 core each standby. All right, so mid-round update. We killed everything on this side of the board, and he fired with the sleeper cell, who was asleep under the tree, woke up, fired into my Riot control, took out everybody but 1. They had the marksman try to take the last hit point on Palpatine. They rolled a blank, but then activated these guys. Jin charged with her 1 pip. It's relentless is nasty when you just have like somebody that's low and you just need to finish them off, and you need to interrupt anything else. So she's charging in. She's attacking Palpatine. Let's see what happens right now. How many hits? I see one blank.
2.
So 2. All right, 2 are going through. This is suppressive?
Yeah, it's suppressive still.
Okay, so this could do it. Any damage will kill him. And there's 2 blanks. You overkilled.
Now I get 2 damage.
All right, so Jin does kill Palpatine. At least he did his job, and he's going to suck up a lot of fire. Now they are activating. Now I can try and kill Jin. And then the question is, do I aim and shoot, which I think is probably the best idea, or maybe go for somebody else? The K2SO's there. There's definitely things to think about. Although Din's not going to be able to get to K2SO, so I'm not getting the bounty there. I split fire. Yeah, you played 2 of Jin's command cards. You don't have any Cassian Andor cards. I think you're probably running really low on command cards right now. No, you played all 3 of Jin's command cards. Mm-hmm. You have no more Jin command cards, so she's not that much of a threat at this point. So I think I'm going for K2SO with these Stormtroopers. They're going to aim and shoot at K2. Because he also could move over here and threaten this point. Okay, so end of turn 4. I scored those 3. And he scored this one. Nobody's at this one right now. It brought up to 10-7. And we're calling it here because the last turn he can't get anybody over to that side of the board. So I'm guaranteed to score those 2 no matter what, which will put me up to 12. And that's when he can't reach 12 this turn no matter what. Even if he gets a kill for sweep and clear, which at this point it would have to be somebody in friendly territory or in enemy territory, even if he got that middle one, that would still be only 4 points, which would only bring him up to 11. So so it's mathematically it's going to be my game here, but it was a close game. It was a close game. I think the biggest thing was dropping these troopers over on this side of the board.
Well, the biggest, getting them clearing Sabine in 1 hit.
Yeah. Well, and they were able to do that.
She didn't do anything in the game. Her and the Cassian killed 2 guys.
She did. Well, so she didn't roll any dice in the game really, but she slowed Jin down, and she forced me to have to commit some forces over here.
Basically, 260 points of my army did nothing.
That's fair. You did, you killed Palpatine, but at least he got what his work done, and Jin at least got to play all of her cards. Because I killed Cassian too.
Yep.
Yeah, I killed Cassian early.
He only had 1 card, so.
Oh, he only did.
I had push. I was gonna have.
Oh, it's smart to run generics when you have to. Moff Gideon did surprisingly well. I love the Observe 1. It did some work this game.
And then Ruthless got her engaged too, which was nice.
It was nice. Yeah, Ruthless was good, but the engagement, I keep forgetting that engagement doesn't mean much because you can just walk out and then do a whole nother move and just go take an objective. So.
Ever since Burst of Speed was introduced in this game, I've hated Palpatine.
Yeah, Palpatine did work. Now, most other games where I've run Palpatine, I'll spend all 4 attacks trying to kill like one Pathfinder unit that just keeps surviving and keeps surviving. At least this time I killed like basically 2 units with him, and so like he finally paid off kind of in the way that Palpatine's always supposed to, and I feel
your red dice, like it's red dice with a defensive surge. That is a good. I mean, that's basically it's a 2-up, isn't it? In terms of
basically there's only 1 blank.
Yeah.
And he's and he's immune to Pierce. Mm-hmm. So, and then I kept healing him, and that's why I brought these guys primarily to heal him. And so I was a little nervous when early on I tried to heal in the Riot Control. Riot Control did nothing this game, but they drew your attention.
Yeah.
And same thing with what Sabine did for you.
Moving those guys to the side in the early game was a bad idea. They should have been. I probably put a bit more in the thick of it.
They probably could have been a little bit more in the center of the battlefield to.
My hope was to run into them and just do the little impact thing, which is kind of neat that they have a anti-armor alien weapon.
Yeah, well, that's another reason. Between the anti-armor you had on them, and then you had Bistan over here, I knew I had to get those guys out of here. Range 2, dropping off range 2, beyond range 2 of enemy forces, was a little bit more range than I thought. I couldn't get them into your back line. Yeah. It's not like with the Stormcasted Turtles in Age of Sigmar. Not quite as much, but it made a big difference, especially when they activate twice. But the fact that they were ionized when they did that meant that whole turn they did nothing except just get in position and no shots were fired.
But that position was perfect.
It ended up working out well. I love that card. I love that ability. They're strong.
Yeah, they are.
But
them and Palpatine,
you had the forces. You had the tech to be able to deal with them. I just ran away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works. So
I mean, Sabine could have done stuff too with the dark saber and all that, but again,
she could. But I figured, and that's the thing is, I figured Din Djarin versus Sabine was probably an even match. and you were starting to chip away damage on him first. So I'm like, you kind of have the upper hand. So by doing that, I tipped the scales heavily in my favor, and I got that one lucky shot that she couldn't do her explosives. Like that was.
So it mitigated everything.
That was crazy. It was a fun game though.
It's crazy how these games go back and forth.
I was worried for a little bit at the beginning, and because you started off like knocking guys out right away.
The problem.
But Cassian.
Yeah.
Cassian was I think the beginning of your downfall. Yeah, he was a little too far forward.
I'm not used to not being able to score. I keep forgetting that I can't score in the first round.
Yes.
So because you've beat me in this game is generally you've beat me on objectives, and like, okay, cool. This time my plan, I'm gonna be more aggressive with the objectives early on to keep that, but then I always forget I can't score objectives on the first round.
Yeah. Well, you can't score the secondary though for kills. First round is usually just about preparing to move in for the second. And getting some pot shots in if you can.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And always wash your socks.